P something. I don't know. We passed someone.
Well, anyway. Both not paying attention. Love it. I'm going to go ahead and sleep then after this, and we will, I guess, pop out on the north side. So we're basically done.
Oh, I just leveled too.
Oh, perfect. We basically just finished up on the Fangorn side of our adventure. We've been going for about an hour. We can stop here if you want. Since I'm cutting up these videos right now, it doesn't really matter when we stop. Is now a good stopping point for you?
Yeah, that's fine for me.
Go a little bit longer. Doesn't matter.
I'm okay with whatever.
Well, I mean, I think as long as we hear, let's do a little bit more then, and we can.
We won't be able to enter Lorien to rent. So if we want to rent, we'd have to either go back to Rohan, which is expensive, or Vale, which is potentially expensive, or back to Rivendell. So
we could. We could demonstrate a Moria dash.
Sure. See if I die.
Nah, you'll be fine. We could also just, I don't know. Do you think it'd be fun and thematic? We could go through Redhorn, find some snowshoes. Are there snowshoes on the east side? No, they're on the west side.
On the west side, there are snowshoes inside of.
No, we don't have forest green cloaks. That's gonna be miserable.
Let's not do that.
Yeah.
Without some equipment.
I think the best move here is either we go to Lorien and see if someone can lead us in, or we do a Moria dash.
Let me ask, narrate.
Let's see here. What if we cross the river and went up the east side? There's not a lot of XP there. That's our level. And then we'd have to go all the way around Nock and stuff.
I'm asking if there's any elves in Lorien.
Okay.
No answer.
All right. Well, let's do. We'll head up here a little bit. I'm going to assume that he already killed all that stuff. And we're going to kill water moccasin. Kill some snakes. A little snake.
Snake. It's also important to note that even though we're gaining in levels, we're still hunting animals that we find because there's various levels. Varying animals of varying levels in every area, so it's important to hit that stuff.
Yeah, in general, if you can kill it, just kill it. Just kill it, move on, right?
Yeah, I think that's good.
And especially if it doesn't take a lot of effort to kill, that's also a good indicator that you should kill it. Again, you don't really want to look for the stuff that is really hard. That is generally not a very efficient way of
because you'll spend a lot of time regenning, so you don't want to do that. You want to keep moving.
Exactly. But we are now north of Fangorn, over here on the east side of the Misty Mountains chain. Went all the way around them on the southern tip. Actually, no, we don't want to go in here. We want to go... Is there a leader in here, or is it just the...
3 renegades, I think. There's a leader, but he's not that much stronger than the others.
What's exit? Crack, rock, slit. Nice.
Slit.
Yeah, we can handle them. I think this is going to be our first orc kills. No, wait.
No, we killed the wolf riders.
You're right. But these are urks, which are even easier. But we won't talk about that.
That's the cool thing about MUME. Like, technically all these orcs are servants of Sauron to some degree, but they also have their own tribal conflicts. And so you'll meet different tribes of orcs. And some tribes are aggressive to player orcs, and some aren't. Zoggers, too, of course.
Yes. I love the tribe system in the dark side. Oh, thank you. Go ahead and get the bash off. We're doing pretty good damage.
Yeah, not bad at all.
actually have really high dexterity. It could even shoot if we wanted to go bows, but not really worth it as warrior. We can keep it nice and simple. That is one drawback, I think, for warriors, which in the beginning is great, their simplicity, but round the, well, I mean, it doesn't take long for this to become apparent, but in XP or PvE, it very, like the loop for warriors is very straightforward. You hit something and then you spam bash. And that's it.
There is something cool with warrior is that you can kind of keep your foot on the gas the whole time, like until you run out of hit points. Whereas if you're a cleric or a magic user, once you're out of mana, you can't really do much. So just having that ability to stay at, 100 miles per hour the whole time, there's something to that. I'm not saying that it can't be improved. It certainly can, but
yeah, what would be something in your head that could make? Well, actually, let's not even get into that. What about you? We know that there's always pushes to improve things in MUME, and usually it kind of alternates between zones, and then sometimes we dip into spells and stuff. What are some like spells / skills that you think would be a big bang for buck to take a look at in terms of reworking a little bit or adjusting?
So, like, for instance, if we look at scouts or thieves, that class is totally built around this concept of having an alpha strike ability, which is backstab. And that meta has changed a little bit with the introduction of like people using crossbows and sneaking and shooting. But having your class all built around the single ability is problematic in my opinion. So, having skills that create wounds or worsen wounds or affect your defense in certain ways, or giving them utility in that way would be interesting because they have very little utility as it stands. Same with warriors. I mean, as you said, they just hit and bash, and that's kind of where it stops. I mean, you can wiggle that a little bit, depending on how experienced you are. And I think so. Let's try it.
You think we take one?
Yeah. So, like, just things that add more utility and give more class identity, I think would be important. And getting away from the sort of like D&D centric skills and spells.
Yeah, what would you say is like the most like the D&D-est spell or skill?
Like fireball and I mean, in The Hobbit, Gandalf lights pine cones on fire and throws them at wargs, which is kind of fireball-ish, but fireball and portal and teleport and lightning bolt and like
portal just that would have made the fellowship so much easier.
Yeah, exactly. Like I'm just gonna portal to Mordor, So. Yeah.
But that's a great example because a lot of MUME is built around teleport and portal, etc. So like I agree, it's completely unthematic. How like is there? I don't even know if you could really separate it from the game though.
I think the ability to traverse Arda is way too easy. That goes to things like having way too many moves and access to things like portal and breath of briskness and whatever. I think that, and this goes back to, this is a whole longer discussion, but I think that there should be more safe but not safe areas that players have to rest at. So, for example, here, I'll make sure I'm paying attention here. For example, when Strider was taking the hobbits east towards Rivendell, they stopped at Weathertop. Yeah. And Weathertop was like a safe but not safe place.
Yeah.
And in MUME, we have towers or we have Caravan on the Old East Road. Like those places are ignored for the most part as places to seek refuge.
Exactly.
And I think that's a problem. And a lot of that is because it's too easy to move around the world. Yeah, we're ripping this thing apart.
Which is this is a lot easier than I thought it'd be. You're 100% right though. There's no reason to stop at like Caravan anymore unless you are truly out of moves, which is rarely going to happen. Which is unfortunate because it creates this scenario where if you are caught out in the open, then you're 100% dead. If you're but that's not going to happen, right? But if you get into a city, like you are more or less 100% safe. And in certain cases, like Rivendell, you are literally 100% safe. which is not good for gameplay at all.
That's also a contention I have with Bree, Shire, and Fornos being so close to one another. Is you basically have, in most cases, of course, Bree and Fornos can be, and so the Shire can be raided, but it's very rare that you have these 3 areas that are basically totally safe, that you can just walk to and within close proximity. So I don't know. That's room for improvement there, in my opinion. This is rubble.
Search north here. Oh, there we go. Very nice. We'll kill. I think we can kill these. They're just spiders, I think. Did these poison now?
Right?
No, they're just venomous spiders.
Yeah, I think this will be fine.
All right, here.
I'll rescue you at wounded.
All right. Oh no, we're poisoned.
But did they poison you? Oh dang.
No, they didn't actually. That was just a deep wound. I thought I was poisoned. But these are pretty. They do decent damage, but they're also very squishy. So we should chew through them. And once you kind of get over the hurdle, so like 3, for instance, is tough. But again, we were talking about this kind of parry split idea. Once you get over the hump of killing the first one, then the other ones just fall really easily. This is also true for PK. Shocker did
I did get poisoned.
Shocker did a great job of explaining this of the most effective way to PK is really like, let's say you're in a 3v3 scenario, is not to 3v3, it's to 3v1 3 times.
Yep. Yeah, the really skilled, typically this is on Zoggers, but on any side really, if you've got a experienced leader who's good at calling out targets and you all assist on the same target, you can do huge damage to someone really quickly.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you got Arachnia from it?
Yeah, it's probably a real light one that will fade.
Yeah, here, I'll keep watch and you get some sleep. I think it will be pretty light here. That would be very unfortunate. Very unfortunate. What were we talking about before that? I think we were talking about something.
Skills.
Oh yeah, skills. Yeah, but this is where it gets really tricky, right? Because there has been a dynamic and a meta for so long. How do you change that? How do you take away things? How do you take away people's movement around the map in a way that doesn't feel just like what happened to my game?
Yeah, it has to be gradual. There has to be, or it has to just be considered. Like, you can't just strip away something and tell people to deal with it. There has to be some give and take there, I'm sure.
Precisely. And also there's, well, I was going to say, there's ways of introducing new mechanics where it's additive, not subtractive, where instead of, saying like, oh, okay, you just can't move around the map anymore. You can, when you are in a PK scenario, regen more slowly or something like that. But I do think actually that in general movement is too much. Like, I mean, we're level 15 and we just cruised down to, like, we went very slow, honestly, but you can cruise across the map in 3 minutes, 4 minutes.
So I tested this as a level 1. I prayed to Bree, and I was able to run naked to Rivendell at level 1.
That's
and then I got a mount and I picked up, I think, like 150 pounds of just like shit, just like random trash. And I was able to get to Ford with a mount at level 1 with that much weight. So like that is crazy. Like if you think about when Aragorn left Bree and getting to Weathertop, that was an adventure, and then going through Trollshaws. Like, I'm not saying we should slow it down that much because that wouldn't be fun from a gameplay perspective, but the world was much more dangerous.
And that's kind of the point. It doesn't even have to be moves. Like, moves is the obvious option here, but like something needs to slow you down a little.
But if you're emphasizing these safe but not safe places like towers, or caravan or whatever, like maybe you get move regeneration in there, or maybe there should be an incentive to resting there. I don't know. I don't know exactly what that is that requires more thought, but there's definitely things in the game that aren't utilized and they should be, in my opinion.
To be fair, this again, it gets very complicated because then it's also, you have questions of like, okay, well, you reduce mobility, like how does that impact like quality of gameplay? Like, let's say you kill a zone and now there's nothing to do else in the zone, but you can't move as fast or as far. Like, you have to spend a significant amount of time kind of limping across empty zones. Like, that's, no one wants
Which
that.
isn't fun, right?
Yeah,
You know, that's
nobody wants that.
so. My poison's gone. It
Oh,
didn't last at all.
Excellent. Let's go ahead then, and we're gonna do a little. We're having a little fun here, guys. We're gonna do a Moria dash, okay? Which is, we're gonna go through Moria because we want to get to the west side of the mountain range, and there's only two ways. Well, there's a couple ways across, but we either have to go all the way south. Here, I'll zoom out on my map. We have to go all the way south, where basically the mountain range is right here, and we're up here, and we have to go all the way south, back where the way we came, down to Rohan, all the way back up, and then up to where we want to go, which is kind of more Rivendell area or Tharbad or something, Bree. Or we have to go all the way north and go through the pass near the Orc Caves and go up through to Lorien and Ingrove and then New Orc Caves and all the way around to Rivendell, which are very long. There's only two ways across in this area, which means that we can go through the Redhorn Pass like Gandalf did, but it is very taxing on your moves, and it's dangerous as well because there's also an Orc encampment there. Or we can go through Moria, which this is a little gameism thing. Moria is very dangerous, especially at low level. But if you're a skilled player, you can run through it and pop out on the other side, and makes life a lot easier. So that's what we're going to do.
Ready when you are.
Yeah, if you are a newbie, don't try this at home. So first thing we're going to do is going to change mood to Wimpy, set Wimpy to max, and basically we usually do this in 2 stages. You're going to run all the way to Caverns Crossing, which is basically a straight shot west. So I will see you at Caverns Crossing.
Got it.
And we're running. We have to make sure that once we get to the door, we open the door. And did I lose my horse? I did lose my horse. I'm going to go back and grab my horse.
I'll get mine.
There was a rat there, but we're not going to worry about that. Okay, and now we're at Caverns Crossing, which is like the center room in Moria. As you saw, we passed a whole bunch of evil stuff, which would kick our asses, so we're not going to do that. How are moves?
The moves are good.
All right, perfect. All right, we're going to go ahead and ride here. Or no, we're not going to ride. We could do the north way. We're just going to do it the middle way, though. You can go to the north, and you can ride along this way, but now this is a lot safer. Really, the east portion of Moria is the scary part. If you're rushing through it, we're going to go ahead and open the door. We're going to hit south, so that we're waiting for the door to open because it's going to delay. We don't want to get hit by these rats. We're going to wait. 3, 2, 1. We're going to go up, and there it goes.
We're basically popping out next to the lake where the Watch in the Water
Exactly.
is, so.
And now we're on the west side of Moria, of the Misty Mountains, which is excellent. So now we can go back to Rivendell and not be all the way east. Yeah, that's kind of, this is why we want Rohan so badly to come out, because as a, well, I think both as a light side character and a dark side character, there's like, if just in that area, you're very far away from everything, and it's hard to rent and have interesting things to do if you're kind of in that kind of Fangorn
Rohan area,
without going to like more like Old Orc Caves or Lorien. Opening
and
Rohan,
it's so XP dense down there, so you want to go down there and XP.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
But it's unlike a lot of the other areas where they are XP dense and dangerous, which is good for the game because that means that you might die or people might come and fight you, which are good things. But it's kind of a bad thing because you're just like out in the middle of nowhere and it's not really that dangerous. You just like there's just nothing around to go rent to, which I think is dumb. I wonder actually if your thought process, there being more rent spots around Arda that aren't cities to kind of encourage. Can we kill these guys?
I walked onto the river up here.
I don't think we're gonna do that. I don't think we're gonna kill these guys. Oh yeah, they're following us. We definitely don't want this.
I'm with you.
We're gonna go around this side.
That could be.
I think we can kill both of these guys. I think we can kill 2 of them.
That could be towers could do that, or
yeah, exactly.
Other,
like because one of the things is like everyone just like rents at like the most stronghold location. Like maybe it would be better if people just kind of popped in and felt comfortable stopping off and renting at places that were, Yeah, like a tower or something a little bit more minor. I don't know. Maybe not.
It also, I mean, it's not great gameplay
Oh, we got
experience for
flee.
Zoggers. Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna have to go back to the road here because we got all these goblins on us. There we go, and we will move on.
The Zoggers can only rent in one place, which is part of their sort of like faction identity, I guess, but it's not great from a gameplay perspective. Like if you're all the way,
yeah,
all the way wherever, and you have to go back to your caves to rent.
We will go kill this warg. Yeah, stuff like that is. I'm not totally against that because it is very much an identity thing for them. Speaking of which, in terms of identity thing, I think one of my favorite additions to the game ever is the Maruk start to the starting to Maruk. Oh my goodness, how much fun is that? You basically start off at level 1 and you're like a slave basically in these mines, and you have to escape, and you die a whole bunch of times, like hopefully trying to get to freedom so you can actually start your character and play it. But it ends up with you dying and being confused a bunch of times in the beginning. And of course, like, that's not a big deal because you're level 1, you have no equipment, so who cares? But man, that's so thematic and fun.
It's novel and interesting. Yeah. I mean, that's you get a little bit of that too. That sort of dynamic entrance with the Gandalf story when you create a newbie, but it's not as like visceral, I guess, as that.
Nice. I think we can take these orcs. Can you tank them?
I can.
Let's give that a shot. Here we go.
I ran out of oil.
Here, I got some more oil. Once we kill these. Actually, I'll just drop the flask and then you can get the flask. So you can't give things to people when they're fighting, which is a little strange. So you have to drop it and then they have to pick it up. Do you know why that is?
I don't know. I mean, it's like...
Is that a D&D thing?
Yeah. I mean, in D&D you can have free actions, but you know, when you like administer a potion to someone, that counts as your action. Like, I'm not sure exactly why. Could be legacy.
All right. Well, once we kill this, we'll probably kill the main guy, head up to Rivendell. We'll probably call it right about then.
Cool. That's great. Got a lot of XP. That was cool.
Yeah. It's been good. It's been good. I'm hungry too now.
I have that. How much?
Nice. You just got all the meat on you.
The old floor meat from a bear we killed a long time ago.
Alright, let's go kill this guy.
I can buff this guy too, if you want me to.
Yeah, here, go ahead and rescue then. And I'll bandage you after. We'll run there. He's casting. Oh!
Lightning bolt me.
Nice. Yeah, we got him.
Until an orc enters and...
Yeah.
You know.
We're both dead in one quake. That, by the way, that is something I think is actually, like, we always talk about, like, oh, well, we should change this and we change that and whatever. I think there's actually one very pressing change that would be a massive bang for buck in terms of a wood elf.
Oh, someone has to...
Someone must be shrouded because I didn't see it.
Yeah.
But that is the fact that there's only 2 ways in the entire game to do, well, I guess technically 3, to do AoE damage, right? One of them is Quake, one of them is like this stupid troll sub-race thing, which the only reason I say that's stupid is because it's like random and stuff, and I feel like that should be more consistent. And then technically Fear, I suppose.
Yeah, technically.
The idea that there's only one way to do AoE damage, which is so important because that allows, like, that solves a lot of the problems in MUME, which is that if you're outnumbered, you're really fucked, right? Having AoE is a massive, massive strategic
advantage.
Yeah, it's fine if it's weaker, like, but like it allows you to deal with bigger groups, which is like from a gameplay perspective so important. And there's only one way to do that. Like, I can't believe that there's not a warrior option and a cleric option and a thief. Like, everyone should have some form of AoE. It doesn't need to be the same. It doesn't need to be huge, right? But like, there's only one. I don't know. To me, that seems like
if you're wielding a pole arm, you can like sweep attack, or like, I don't know, like for sure there should be other ways.
It just seems crazy. Oh, you're still wanted, unfortunately.
I better fall.
Yeah, we'll go ahead and have you do that. Go to jail. Yeah, we'll wait for you to get out of jail and the no quit to wear off, and we'll probably rent. Well, we gotta get out. We gotta smoke something or something for sure.
Have a beer.
There we go.
I'm in here for 2 hours, so 2 ticks.
2 ticks. Yeah.
We got no quit anyways.
Every MUME hour is 1 minute in real life. Let's see here. What kind of food do they have here?
Lembus.
We could do wine. Do they have like ale? They don't have ale. They have lembus in the jail? Wow, that's a bougie jail. That's a bougie jail.
You see what I have? Now I've got apple tarts and blackberry tarts and a fountain. This is pretty good, actually.
Wow.
It's not
yeah.
like slop, you know.
Compared to like what Fornos is like musty bread or whatever.
In Tharbad, for people who don't know, if you ever want it in Tharbad, do not follow the guards.
Do not.
Because they'll take you to jail and they'll
don't
beat
do
you
it.
to death.
It's a very easy way to be very sad very quickly.
I think it counts as a death trap, so you don't get your equipment back.
Mm-hmm. Which is hilarious, though. I haven't done it in so long, but it's something about like they just beat you to death, right?
Yeah, very Tharbad flavored there.
Yeah. I think that's one of the things I've enjoyed the most about doing this series is just running into so many scenarios where you just remember how much flavor there is, right? Where since we're kind of taking our time and we're just kind of showcasing things and and moseying on around, when you're playing regularly, sometimes you get a little too in the zone of like, your optimization
grinding
loop and just grinding. And man, it's fun.
Like in Fangorn, Quick Beam talked to us. He's like, "I'll protect you, or welcome." And it's like, I didn't even know that was a thing,
Yeah,
and so,
right? Like, we have such friendly mobs here.
Almost out.
You know what we should do, actually? Wow. They don't sell meat in the general store. Where do they sell meat?
Elves are vegan. Come on.
Elves. Freaking elves, man. This is why the dwarves were right. Oh, there you are. Nice. You got citizenship?
Yep.
Let's do instead of a drink, let's eat some, or did you already eat food?
I think I'm full. Yeah.
Oh, you're full. Okay.
Actually, I think I can drink anything either. I didn't even think about that.
We're gonna. Oh no! I tell you what. Here, we're gonna do this. We're gonna buy something silly here. We can get a flute. We could play a flute thing together. Isn't there a harp in Rivendell somewhere?
Yes, there is.
Where is it?
It is.
It's somewhere up here, I think.
Yeah. No.
I'm gonna get candy.
Okay, follow me.
I gotta eat the candy real quick. Eat candy. Nice. All right. You can play chess in MUME too, which is crazy.
Yeah, here we go.
Ah, the harp. All right, here we're gonna play a song to each other. Here, you play first.
Whatever you're trying to do, it has nothing to do with music.
I'm probably gonna have the same thing. Yeah.
Yep.
But if you play it more, you learn. I don't know who put in the effort to do this, but the more you play it, you like get better at playing it, and it's like, oh, you actually make beautiful music eventually.
And you can find instruments around the world too, and there's no like skill cap with those. You just automatically play them well. But those harps are there's one there, and there's one in Lorien, and you have to spend the time grinding your skill, which is kind of fun.
It's just hilarious. It's so wonderful. But all right, well, we got a lot of XP there. Showed off a lot of stuff. Veladan, thank you so much for joining us again.
Of course, anytime.
Perfect. I will be calling on you again. So I hope you're good on that. So, but yeah, I hope everyone enjoyed it, and thanks for watching. And I'll see you guys next time.
Thanks, everybody. Bye.
Peace. All right.